Darren, first thing to talk about, nominated for Manager of the Month, which is an honour, but I suppose that's symptomatic of the whole, if you like, the whole team and Jaden getting nominated for Player of the Month as well. Does that kind of show you that the last month things have started to knit together a little bit?
Yeah, it's a good sign. It's obviously a good for me to be in the nominations for the Manager of the Month and for Jaden for the Player of the Month as well. It shows significant strides that the club's made. What I will say to that, in order for me and Jaden to be nominated for these accolades, it's the work that's gone on behind, the unforeseen work from all the departments coming together and people doing the unseen work, the unseen footage that it goes out to all the staff, the players, everybody that coincides to make that happen. Me and Jaden, in the positions that we've had and what Jaden's done, are putting in positions where we are the ones probably seen to collect the awards. But for me, the message is clear to the support staff here, right from the owners at the top, in terms of a lot of changes, what's happening at the football club. They get special recognition because without that behind the scenes, it's impossible for me and Jaden to be in the positions that we are in. So it's credit to the staff really and the ones what we don't get to see on a day-to-day basis.
Can you give us an insight into how hard that work has been? Because, we spoke in the summer about what lay ahead of you. Now you're a couple of months into it. Can you give us an idea of how difficult that has been to try and get things knitted together in such a short space of time?
That takes a multitude of people, Phil. When we see the team on a Saturday, there's so much working dynamics that goes behind in order for the team to go on a Saturday. I could name a few departments, but it wouldn't justify all the departments, and from the kitchen staff to the kit man to the girls in the office that do the accountants or the corporate packages, or Matt Hancock, the CEO, Kevin and Carol. I'm just naming a few people that spring into mind, but there's such a multitude of people. Kay that looks after the boys, Tracy that does a lot of the day-to-day stuff around there. These are people that have been throwing names out there in the different departments, and everybody will be thinking, well, who's he or who's she? But when they hear this message, they know the ones that I'm referring to, and I echo that right across the board. Even the academy that helps us prepare on match days for games, and the introduction, what they do in giving us access to the academy players. It goes right the way, and that's what the team is. It's bringing everybody together and working extremely hard. The recruitment department on a daily basis, how they overlap. The sports science department, I could go on. I think with the rest of the others, the ground stuff out there, getting the pitches ready on a daily basis for us to train on, the list goes on, and all that has to work in order, Phil, to give us the maximum effort to give the output on a Saturday. And that's where these awards are aligned, because all those positions that I've spoken about have to be on a daily basis, working at the highest order. And we've worked extremely hard as a football club behind the scenes to really get that upwardly mobile. And the fans should see that and recognise it, that the work's ongoing on a daily basis.
Just to mention Jaden, it's hard to think that this is somebody who didn't start the season in the team, but he's kind of become this focal point for you now. I know he didn't play or start on Saturday, but just tell us about what you think he's offered this group and what makes him maybe stand out and has earned him this nomination. What do you think that Jaden Stockley has perhaps given to Port Vale that they hadn't got before?
Yeah, Jaden, first and foremost, as a human being, as a man, first class. He really is. But I've known that for many, many years. He's certainly been a thorn in some of the teams that I've played against him. And I just thought for us to get him in the building as early as we did, I think it was a knock-on effect with the rest of the players that we were able to bring to the building. So it shows what a fantastic capture he was. The next thing was with him was getting him fit and getting him ready. and that's taken some time. But now we're seeing Jaden Stockley in terms of what he brings to us. It brings a wonderful presence. It brings that a target man, and he allows us to do a lot of different things, shapes, and with the team that he allows us to do by being that focal point. Equally, as a player, as powerful and as dominant as in the air, on the floor, his feet are really neat and tidy. His link-up play is excellent. So with that, and of course the third component is he scores goals, which his record shows that. And he started well and he scored goals, and we envisage that if we can continue to get the ball in the right areas, he'll continue to score more goals.
Just wanted to mention Jesse Debrew, we've just spoke to as well, who's talked about your influence on him and how you're trying to improve him, those little percentages to make him better and better. Again, what have you made of Jesse? Because he was, I think it's fair to say he was a little bit put out that he hadn't been in the team a couple of times, but he says he's learned from it. So how have you thought about how Jesse's responded to not being in the team? What have you made of how he's gone about his business?
Jesse's been superb in terms of going about his business and his outlook in terms of what he wants for the team. He's an individual, for me, Phil, that's really driven and's got wonderful leadership qualities to him. What we are doing is bringing out those leadership qualities in him on a daily basis. His performances have been getting stronger, been getting better. He's come back in wonderful condition over the close season, which has given him a massive, huge input into the team. And Jesse's an important cog for the team, really, in terms of what he gives us. But also what I'm seeing with Jesse, and hopefully from the supporters' point of view, is there's parts of Jesse's game where he's improved already. And this is at the start of the season. And if Jesse can continue on the same path that he's on now, that's a player that's completely transformed for me, and he's proven a real pillar for the team in terms of how he's been going about his work. There's still parts of his game that we still want to learn and develop, and he needs to develop, but there's areas of his game where he has developed, and it's marvellous to see. The other thing that people don't see with Jesse is he has a desire that he wants to learn, and he absorbs all the information that you do give him, and then he tries to put it into practice. And to have those two ingredients for Jesse, for us as a team and a football club, it can only be a win-win.
Just a bit of housekeeping for some of the lads who've been struggling. George Byers obviously missed Saturday. Kyle John looked like he picked up something quite nasty towards the end. Can you just give us an update on them and maybe some of the other lads a bit longer term, like Mitch and Sam Hart as well? Where are they up to?
Yeah, so Mitch and Sam are making good progress, and they're still in with the medical team. So we see them doing work on the pitch, grass base, which is always good because it means they're out the gym and then onto the grass, which is good. Doing field-based work, so they're just building up their strength really before they're handed on to the S&C, which is then they're up in the volume. So that's where they're at the moment. So there's a bit of time before them two are back. And then, of course, then the more recent ones with Kyle John and George Byers, with the injuries that they've both picked up, we predict that it's going to be a few weeks that they're going to be out. So not great news for us as a football club or the supporters, but we've had confirmation in terms of the scan results coming back, and both will be out for some weeks and that, So we continue as we do. And both of them have done really, really well, and both of them will come back stronger for it. But as a group, and that we move on.
It was blow, obviously, because those are two lads who just seem to be hitting their stride as well, weren't they? Particularly Kyle, who was really, really impressive at Notts County too. So that's a bit of a setback.
Yeah, it is, and it is. But this is football, and it's part and parcel of the game. It's a contact sport. It's a real high level elite sport, and the players are putting their bodies on the line each and every single day in terms of training and the game. So to lose those two, yes, it is a blow. But as I said, we feel we've got a group of players that, as one door closes for one or two, it opens the doors for one or two to step in and stake their claim. And as I said, the team will continue to move forward. We wish both players a real speedy recovery. They're in good hands. And they will make a good recovery to get back and join back up with us.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, something we discussed in pre-season, was about giving people hope. Giving the Vale fans a bit of hope. It would seem with the run that you've been on, that looks like it's back. You saw the reaction at Notts County on Saturday. Do you kind of feel that process is now underway of healing a little bit from last year and giving people hope based on what you've done over the opening couple of months of this season?
Yeah, I think for the work's still going, Phil, so I won't negate that at all. The work is continuing to go. What I have said is from the team is we want to give our fans hope, but as much as us giving the fans hope, the fans give us hope. Last week at County, I thought they were outstanding, just over 2,200. Fantastic. That gives the team massive hope to continue going and driving forward. And we, the team, want to give the fans hope in terms of the performance, the high-level committed performance that we do when we're out there in front of the watching eyes of the supporters and the public. And I think we've been doing that. And in return, we've had the response from the supporters. So I'm looking at it as a two-way thing, that this season, if it is to be a successful campaign for Vale, then on all fronts, we spoke about, the nominees in terms of the departments working together off the pitch, and the ones that you see on the pitch, and then the supporters giving their support. So when you look at all those ingredients, we know ahead of us this season there's so many more hurdles to come along, and so much support that we need, so much determination that we have to give from the team in order to continue that. So for me, it's the messages have been right today, what seems to be on the surface, but those have been hard work over the summer, and hopefully we've seen a little bit the fruits of our labour over the summer. What the message I'm going to echo is thanking the fans, every single one of them individually and collectively, because we've got another big game on Saturday where MK Dons, and I envisage the away support to be ever as vocal and supportive as ever. And hopefully as a team, we can put in the right performance and continue that and keep that consistency going. And as I said to you, as a manager, in terms of where we are after 10 games, I'm happy enough, but not satisfied, because I know that there's huge, extreme amounts of work to be done, and every single day it's an opportunity for us to get better, and that's exactly what we're doing.
What does it mean to you, though, when you see, you walk over to an away end or at a home game and the fans are there and cheering to you? We see you applaud, and we see you can clap and whatnot, but does it give the players a buzz? Does it give you a buzz? How does it help when you've got that type of support?
Huge. I mean, we go over to applaud the fans because the group of players, myself, the football club, understand the fans have had a hard day's work and a hard week's work, just as the players have here. So we appreciate that the time and support and the energy that they come to support us as a team, as a football club. So we do really appreciate that. And from this message, I'll say now to every single one of them, really do appreciate the support, because we know it's not easy out there in terms of the work that we're all doing on a daily basis. So that's an appreciation that when it comes to your weekend, you're giving up that time and energy to come and support your team, and the players certainly feel that. So for me to go over and see the fans and that, it means everything, because I know the importance of and how they carry the football club and the players in their hearts, and how much the club means to the supporters. I just want a group of players, and they're listening to a manager what understands in terms of where they are as people, supporting the football club, and it goes on from generation to generation. So I really do appreciate and understand that, and so does the players. And there's been a huge working with the group and continuing working relationship with the group and the supporters, which I think is really important. I said to you at the start of the season, the important thing for me and the group of players was connecting the supporters and the team back together. And though there's been early signs of it, which is great to see, we want to keep that going. So we're all as one at Vale, and long may that continue.